Uh, hey, I'm Sen. I'm a ghost VR artist. Today I'll be celebrating my first anniversary. Let me just get chat up real quick. There we go. There's chat. Hi, chat. I'll give people a couple minutes to come in, but I figured to start with, I'll yap a little bit. I've got a couple topics to talk about, and I'll answer any questions in chat if there's any people have. I probably should have put that in the title, but that's okay. So, yeah, today is, my first year anniversary, being on YouTube. Not my first year anniversary of being on YouTube ever, but uploading as, like, a VTuber slash BNG tuber. Cause technically I've been on YouTube since, like, 2007, but anyways, yeah, I've been making content on YouTube for like a year now. Some of that was streaming and some of that was pre-edited videos. And I thought today I'd talk a bit about that and stuff. Let's see. So, later today there will be a react video coming out. It's about 17. Let me try that again. I have a react video coming out later today. It's my first time doing a react video, and I will be reacting to my first video. I thought that would be fun to do, to like see like how things have changed since posting that first video, because when I first started it was kind of like a shot in the dark kind of situation. Like I wasn't really sure how it was gonna go, so I thought I would start by talking about procrastination, because I guess it's like ironic a little bit, maybe. I'm not sure. But I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but I thought I'd talk a bit about like some of that. Like the first time I recorded a video, it felt like really unusual to me, because like when you're recording a video you're talking, but you're talking to like the microphone, like there's nobody else there, so it can feel a bit intimidating at first. And I think sometimes that can happen with like streaming too. Like there can be some like social anxiety, like stage fright kind of thing. I'm trying to get my memories to come back. It might take me a couple minutes. Let's see. When I first started, I was trying to do weekly uploads, and within like a month I realized why not everyone does weekly uploads. It can be a lot to do at once. But so then I tried doing weekly streams for a while, and that was pretty fun. I remember being really surprised when I was streaming Holo Cure and a bunch of people came out to support me, like maybe like 10 to 15 people. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Cause a lot of the time when you're posting on social media, it often feels like you're just like throwing bottles into the water and hoping someone will find it. Like for a lot of the time, like on Twitter, you'd be like, did I hear the dread of weekly uploads? A little bit. The reason why is, the recording part's actually the easy part. Not that it's like, when I first did it, I would take like 4 takes to like get my lines right. But like, you do the recording and it's done. The part that was making it difficult was the editing and thumbnail art. Because I can do a pretty decent like art in like an hour. But then you have to like do it every week and you have to think, you're like, does this look like people would click on this? And things like that. For editing, I still consider myself a beginner at editing. Like I know the basics, but there's still a lot of like newer features I'm still figuring out how to do, like when people like make their images bounce and things like that. Because my original experience with editing was Windows Movie Maker, like over a decade ago. So there weren't a ton of effects back then. And I remember at the time, a lot of the like high quality people making like high quality videos back then, they would use Sony Vegas. Yeah, editing can be a pain at times. I feel like I was thinking when I edited that video, because it was like 17 minutes and it took me like 3 days to edit it, and by the end of it I'm like, God, just shut up, me, your voice is annoying me. Because I was hearing it over and over again. I'm like, man. So I kind of understand why the bigger YouTubers usually have their own editor. But I don't know, I'm still hoping that I can get better at it over time, because I have videos that I want to make that require more editing than what I have so far, but one step at a time, I would say. Let me take a sip real quick. And try not to choke. So I'm trying to think. I feel like it'll gradually come back to me as I'm talking here. I will say, like, after watching YouTube for a long time and then making my own stuff, I definitely respect what other YouTubers have done way more. Because, like, it's one thing to watch them and you see them come out with video week after week and you're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But then when you're trying to do it yourself, you're like, oh my god, how do they do this? Like me, for real, hearing your own voice is still jarring. Yeah, like, I feel like, people think that, like, YouTubers are, like, obsessed with themselves. I don't know if that's true or not. Where they're like, well, you have to like yourself to post all these videos, right? And if I'm being honest, I still cringe when I hear my own voice in recordings. I'm like, oh, that sounds so crappy. Oh, I'm too anxious here. But I do think that's progress, because before I would just not record at all. I'm like, I hate my voice, I hate how I sound, I can't do it, but I managed to get past that step, and now I'm at like, okay, it's not the worst, but it still sounds kind of annoying sometimes. But I think it's just because, I don't know if it's a theory or like a fact or not, but I heard that, you hear your own voice, like, slightly lower than everyone else hears your voice. So when I listen to my recorded voice, I'm like, oh my god, I sound so baby! I don't want to sound baby! Because, like, I try not to be, like, too edgy, but, like, I've always kind of had, like, a bit of an emo streak, so when my voice sounds really high-pitched, I get kind of annoyed. I'm like, no one's gonna take me seriously if I sound like a baby. But you would be surprised. We take those small wins whenever we can. Yeah. Like, trying to think. Like, I actually remember the day that I actually started to like my own art. And I feel like this is gonna turn into like a speech about low self-esteem, but I've been making art since I was like how old? Maybe like 6 or 7 years old. I've been making art for a long time. And for most of that time, I'm like, wow, this looks crappy. This looks like shit. I hate it. And I kept drawing anyways, because I'm like, I hate it, but I need to keep going if I want to improve. So, there was a couple times where I stopped making art because I just hated it so much. I'm like, this looks like crap. I hate it. I can't do it. It looks like crap. But, eventually I'm like, okay, maybe it looks crappy, but I'm gonna keep trying anyways. And like maybe around like 5 years ago, I was drawing fan art and I did this one. I spent like maybe like a couple weeks on it. And I looked at it and I'm like, wow, this actually looks pretty decent. And it was the first time I'm like, you know what? I'm so proud of this one. I'm gonna hang it up. And I look back at it now, and I'm like, it's not as good as I remember. But I feel like that's the thing with like a self-critical eye. It's like you're always trying to get better, so your older stuff is gonna look different. But this actually comes up a lot when I'm making art. I'm like, wow, this looks like crap. And the other people are like, what are you talking about? This looks good. I could barely draw a stick figure. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. It looks crap relative to the good stuff. Don't you get it? And they're like, no, this definitely looks really good. You just kind of have to be like, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm being too self-critical. I believe that theory was researched to be almost true, like it doesn't match how we sound in our head. Yeah. Hold on, let me take a sip again. LOL. Yeah. I feel it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because like, you need to be self-critical enough to improve, because if you think everything you make is amazing, you're gonna be like, well, why do I need to learn anything? I'm already good, right? So you need to have enough to want to improve, but then at the same time, if you get too self-critical, you just won't make anything because you're like, everything I do, it looks crappy. And so there's a balance to be had there with that. I can say that I'm kind of out of that phase now. Like, I still have room to improve, but like, I have noticed an improvement compared to where I was like 6 or 7 years ago. Despite the whole self-critical topic, I actually do really enjoy drawing. Like, there's just something very, like, zen about drawing, where, like, I can get out of my own head and just focus on the drawing part where it's like, okay, let's get this line this way. Let's get this color this way. Oh, that doesn't look quite right. Let's try changing the color a bit. And you're like, oh, well, what if we made the shape a little bit like that? And to me, that's the fun part of drawing, is like you get to choose exactly how it looks like. And I think that's something that a lot of creatives feel like. Even with writing, I'm not super self-critical about writing, but I think when I'm writing, I'm like, how do I get this thought out in a way that people will understand, so I don't just sound like I'm rambling to myself. Because I can word vomit stuff on the page, but you do have to kind of edit it a little bit if you want it to be readable. It's like, I don't know what it is, like when it comes to writing, like I can yap all day in text, but then I get to like recording stuff and I'm like, I don't know, guys. My brain is empty, guys. And then on the keyboard, I'll be like clack, 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 clack. I think that's really interesting. Like, I don't understand like the scientific reason for that. I think it's because speaking things out loud makes it feel more real somehow. Like, I've heard that, that like if you're trying to do like positive affirmations and stuff, that like it's more powerful to say it out loud than just writing it on paper. At least that's what I've heard. See, I'm trying to think what else. I went on a bit of a tangent. When it comes to the streaming part of things, I kind of had to like build it up gradually. Hold on. The first, like, so, for like streaming, like, originally I did it like no mic, no face streaming, where I was literally just playing a game and there was like no commentary. Because, it took me a while to gain the confidence to be on mic. And then for a while I would stream privately, like just with friends to like get used to the vibe of that. And I feel like it was a good middle point. And then eventually I started streaming publicly, and the first couple times it was just kind of like figuring it out. And then I started doing the HoloCure streams, and I feel like that was the first time I'm like, wow, I'm like actually streaming, like I'm trying to talk and play the game at the same time. Because I remember the first time I tried it, like it was so hard because I couldn't pay attention to the game while I was talking. I can see that, almost like raising your hopes up, giving self-motivation. Yeah. But like, one of the things I like about being a YouTuber, like, slash creator is, like, I have to, like, learn how to do a lot of new things. Like, I have to learn how to solve tech problems. And, I'm trying to think what else it'll, like, come back to me. Like, one time I opened OBS to stream, and my microphone was on and there was no audio coming out. I checked the settings and it was good. I googled like 3 or 4 times, and eventually I like had to go into like the preference for the mic and set it to the mic instead of default, and I'm like, why? Why would it do that? And then sometimes with the webcam, like, it's tricky to get it at the right angle to get it to, like, catch the mouth flaps. So sometimes when it doesn't want to work, I just have to use the PNG. But, like, some of the other stuff I've been learning, like, editing, like, video editing and audio editing, I'm still a beginner at those, but, I've been learning gradually how to do more stuff like text overlay and image compilation and things like that. And eventually I'll learn how to do like the little animations I see all the YouTubers doing. Trying to think what else. Eventually, I've done like a couple emotes, but I want to be able to make more of those at some point. Too. What else? What else? Editing is no joke. Hold on. Yeah, like, I've been on YouTube for like a long time, so like I've always heard stories from YouTubers where they're like editing, man. And they're like, the editing though. And I feel like the two biggest things was either editing or copyright strikes, and I'm like, oh man. The way anxiety works, I literally had not uploaded a single video, and I'm like, but the copyright though. Like, I understand why the copyright strikes are a thing, but like, I do kind of miss the freedom from early YouTube where you could just like post whatever as long as it like fit guidelines. And now it's like, I like Disney stuff, but I can't do any Disney stuff because they're just so like tight on copyright, like to the point when I mentioned I like Disney, they're like, what do you mean you like Disney? You never said that before. And I'm like, oh, I guess I haven't, because you're not allowed to, like, you can't sell fan art of them legally, you can't cover their music, you can't show clips of their stuff, so it's like, why would I talk about it if they don't want you to, you know? But, I do like a lot of Disney stuff. Like, I like some of Frozen, I like Disney Hercules, I like the original Mulan, I like Encanto. The first half of Encanto I like. But, yeah, like, but yeah, like, I'm trying to think of, like, early YouTube, cause, like, it's hard to remember. I used to watch like animation memes, viral videos. Not so, wholesome ways of watching anime. I used to watch a shit ton of that. AMVs I used to be really into. And, I actually made a couple AMVs myself. And unfortunately, when the copyright thing started getting bigger, I just kind of had to quit that hobby. Not because I didn't want to make it anymore, but it just wasn't feasible anymore, because like, even if you don't profit from it, they still will strike you, so... It was kind of like bittersweet, because like... so many anime AMVs, it's like, oh my god, there's so many I could mention. There are a couple of them that are still up. One of the big ones was, like, Sonic X with, like, Do You Like Waffles? The song Do You Like Waffles? That was a big one. Another one that's a personal favorite of mine, not really like a, like, most popular one, is it was, the original Full Metal Alchemist anime with the song Banana Phone. And it just kind of became a meme. Like an in-joke with me and my friends, where it's like, banana phone, doop 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 doop. It's just like a silly, like, 90s kids song with anime clips. AMVs actually got me into a lot of my early music taste, I'm not gonna lie. Like there was like a bajillion Linkin Park AMVs and Evanescence AMVs. One of the ones I remember that I do not think is up anymore is there used to be an old AMV. It was like Powerpuff Girls Z, like the anime of Powerpuff Girls with like an Evanescence song, and it was like so like edgy, but like in a good way. I'm trying to think what else. I watched like a bajillion Skip Beat AMVs. It was just Skip Beat with like any revenge song ever. It's like So What by Pink, Hope It Brings You Hell, Skater Boy. Like just any song about revenge that there was a Skip Beat version of it. Oh my god. What else? There was like a bajillion AMVs of Naruto versus Sasuke. There was so many AMVs of that fight that it's like forever in my memory. And I feel like I kind of missed that actually because it was kind of a cool way to discover new music, because now like it's like all like Spotify and algorithms and stuff, and like it's just not the same. Like one of the things I liked about AMVs is like when they really like thought on the song choice and like the anime that they were doing. Like I think this one is still up. There was like a couple of Higurashi and Umineko AMVs I really liked. One of them is the song Concrete Angel, and it has Satoko from the original Higurashi anime. And oh my god, it gets me teary-eyed every time. It's like Higurashi AMV Concrete Angel, and it has clips of Satoko and like her struggles with her like abusive family situation, and like paired with the song, it's just like so fucking sad. And like I'll never forget that AMV. And that wasn't the only one like that. Another AMV I really liked was they were called like Mega Mix. So they would have like 50 different anime to like one song. And that was like a cool way to discover like anime you might have not seen before. Like I don't know, man. Like I really miss it the more I think about it, really. That's a nasty AMV combo, oh man. But yeah, it's like, even if I can't like really make AMVs anymore, I feel like eventually I think it'd be cool to make like a music video or like something like that. Cause I want to do more music stuff, I'm a noob at like basically everything, so it's gonna take longer. Like if I think about it, like stat wise, it's like I'm decent at singing. I'm just a hobbyist though. I don't know anything about track making, and I know very minimal about like how to edit vocals. But I also like want to practice writing like lyrics and stuff too, cause like drawing has always been my main thing, but the more I thought about it, it's like I've also like deeply connected with like music and writing too. So it's hard for me to pick like just one. So that's something that I want to practice more in the future too. Mike, stop shaking, please. But yeah, like I feel like when it comes to music videos, like AMVs were the ones that like got me into like video editing and stuff. I can't really share most of them because that account is like long gone. But one of the ones I do remembered is I used to be really into the anime like Hellsing Ultimate, like that anime, where it's about like these like vampire guys. I know that's not a good description, but it's like really edgy and like dark and stuff. And it was like that song, or I mean that anime, with the character like Ceres, and the song was like, what was the name of the song? I'm trying to remember. I think it was called Victory, like Into the Night or something like that. And yeah, like very late 20s core anime. Really? Yeah, I think I was like really into it in like high school. Speaking of anime, I was kind of surprised when I saw that Lane was going viral again. I mean, not like completely surprised, because I mean, she is like the goddess of the internet. But like, I was just kind of surprised. I'm like, what do you mean Lane is normie now? What are you talking about? It was a very niche, obscure show at some point. God, I still remember this really old image. I think it's from like 2009, before the anime came out, where Steins Gate was under the list of like niche visual novels, and now it's like top 10 anime of all time. Like, I think that's really funny. But I like to think that for like my VTuber design, like I was inspired a lot by the anime. Like I grew up on like Madoka Magica, like like Holic, what else? Black Butler, Hell Girl, kind of an older one. But like all these like anime at the time that were like kind of like gothic, like emo-ish stuff. Lane does have a habit of appearing and disappearing. Honestly, I'm beginning to think Lane is real. Yeah, like that's like the interesting thing about like some anime is like some of them just like continually finds like a new audience. Another one of those I would say is Evangelion. Like it like blew up in the 90s, and then it had another wave in the 2000s, and then the 2010s, and so like every decade there's always new people going into EVA. And it's always so funny seeing people's first reaction to it. They're like, what the fuck did I just watch, guys? And I've been meaning to rewatch it, and I'm kind of afraid to. I'm like, I don't want to have another existential crisis again. I remember binging it one time, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's just a lot to take in. Let's see. Another one I like that's on my fave list on my intro video is Gosick. I was really worried when I was rewatching it that it was not gonna hold up, because I got into it when I was in like high school, and I actually rewatched it like a year ago, and I'm like, no, this is still pretty good. It's basically Sherlock Holmes, but what if he was an anime girl? And it's like a really good mystery / romance show. It's like, what can I say? The tsundere / kudere type is always really good. Best to watch Eva during Christmas for the extra mood. I really miss Chester Lincoln Park. Oh. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me actually, now that we're talking about it. I think it was like, it was either a year or 2 years ago, they came out with a new song that was like an archive song from like 20 years ago. It's called Lost. And I was just really surprised, because I'm like, this is such a banger, and they kept it locked away for 20 years. And it was just like really relatable. Like I've always resonated with Linkin Park's music, and at first I was afraid to admit that, because everyone's like, they were like, oh, they're just teenage angsty music, cringe, blah, 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 whatever. And then all of a sudden, like midway through the decade, the narrative changed, and they're like, Linkin Park is such legends, they were amazing, and I'm like, then why did you guys not pick on people for that shit, you know? Like, I get it's fun to clown on stuff, but like let people like what they like, even if it is cringe or angsty or whatever, you know? But, yeah, like for me, like, I've always resonated a lot with their music, because, like, they just were able to put to words like these feelings that I didn't know how to express and stuff. Like, it made me feel less alone during a time where I felt like very alone. And I feel like groups like that are like what inspired me to get more into music. How they were like they had like these struggles and like pain and stuff, but then they made something from that and shared it with like everyone, and like a lot of people like felt less alone and like that they could talk about stuff like that. Because like these days, like mental health, oh god, I'm gonna regret this one. These days, mental health, people collect it like it's a bingo card. So back in the day, it was very much not like that. I used to have a lot of mental health issues, and there was so much stigma back then, like I would not tell a single person about it. I was really ashamed. And recently, I uploaded a video called Living with Depression, and that was like the most raw thing I've ever like made. And it took me a long time to gather up the courage to admit that. Because like some of the things that I was saying, like there was just like such a stigma where like people, god, like it kind of irritates me a little bit, but like people would be like, beware the silent ones, oh you never know what they're gonna do, and it's like, no, it's not like that. And I don't know, I'm kind of rambling a little bit. Hold on, let me get my train of thought back. But what I'm trying to say is that like now people are way more open about that stuff. They're like, oh yeah, my favorite YouTuber has ADHD. Oh, this one is depressed. This one has anxiety. And I don't know, like I feel like people should only reveal that stuff if they feel like comfortable with it. But at the same time, like I do think it helps people to know that they're not like alone in those issues. Cause like growing up, like outside of like emo music, like no one ever talked about these things. Like the closest thing I can think of, it's not from early YouTube. I would say it's like middle YouTube, like early 2010s maybe. There used to be this trend called like I think it was called Draw My Life. I think that was the name of the trend if you like Google it later. And I noticed a trend with these that like almost always they would hit their early 20s and then they would be like, my depression suddenly got really bad and I had a really hard time, but eventually I got out of it. And at the time I was like a teenager, and I'm like, well, but why? Why would that be a bad thing? And then I got there and I'm like, oh, now I get it. Because, I feel like with the early 20s, you're like sent out into the world, and like with high school and stuff, you're like, you can get by just kind of like coasting along and stuff, and then you hit like college and like real stuff, and they're like, we're not gonna babysit you anymore, you gotta figure this shit out for yourself. And I'm just like, oh no, don't you understand? I have the executing skills of a peanut. How am I gonna do this? And for a while I was not able to. But like there was a lot of messy stuff, and it took time to figure things out. But I don't know. Music, you're not helping right now. Just a beat, happy track. Hold on. I lost my train of thought again. Don't know how I got from talking about YouTube to talking about life, but that's okay. I'm gonna change the topic a little bit. How about, I talk about some of my, happy memories on YouTube. I feel like my mind always goes back to Hololive because that was just such a fun time. Like, just in the context of Hololive, I mean... It's hard to describe, like, the vibe back then. Because, like, I had known about Japanese VTubers, but, like, it was always, like, kind of like a distant thing. So then when Hololive English came around, I got to, like, see it firsthand. And it was just, like, really fun seeing, like, them, like, stream every day and, like, try all these different things out and stuff. Because, I don't know, like, I feel like with a lot of older YouTubers, before, like, streaming was a thing, there was always kind of, like, this wall there between, like, them and their fans. Because, the community tab used to not be a thing. So, like, the only really outlet fans had were, like, comment sections and, like, sometimes Twitter. And, so I would follow these, like, YouTubers for, like, a decade and not speak a single word to them. Just, like, a silently supporting fan. A lurker. And I feel like it's taken me a while to get out of that mindset of just, like, lurking. Just silence thumbs up like, you did a good job. And just being too shy to, like, say anything in the comments or, like, participate in chat and stuff. And, I don't know, like, it's kind of a weird feeling. Like, eventually, I was able to get over that fear a little. Where, I saw how much, like, it made people's day to, like, have their fans, like, comment and share and stuff, so, like, I tried to do that more. That reminds me, actually. One of the people I follow, this guy named Stroofless or whatever, and he does, like, creative stuff. And he put out a video being like, I'm really deep in debt, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and his like, community, like, were able to raise money to help him get out of debt, and that was, like, one of the most wholesome things I've ever seen on YouTube, like, within less than a week. They were able to help him, and it got me really emotional, because, like, yeah, like, there's a lot of things on the internet that go wrong, but, like, sometimes just, like, the right place, right time, like, the community can really make a difference for people, like, in a positive way. Like, a lot of streamers do, like, charity streams and stuff, and, like, awareness videos, and I think that's, like, really cool. Like, I think that's, like, one of the positive things of the internet, that, like, people can come together and form, like, a community, or, like, a creative group and things like that. And I feel like quiet people are, like, stereotyped to, like, hate people and, like, hate socializing. And don't get me wrong, I need my recharge time. I'm an introvert. I know that. But I don't hate talking to people, I just need time to figure out my comfort zone, I think. And I think even if sometimes, like, people, like, get stereotyped as, like, a loner, antisocial, like, I think one of my favorite parts of the internet is, like, how, like, people can, like, do, like, cool stuff together. I know it sounds a little immature, I wish I had a more eloquent way of saying that, but, like, I think, like, that's what got me so hooked to the internet, like, when I was starting out, is, like, being able to, like, go to all these, like, cool, like those old, like, Flash games where there were, like, community chats and avatars and stuff. Like, I thought that was really fun. I'll be right back, I need to get a sip of water real quick. Okay, I'm back. Let me check if my guy is working right. Oh, let me fix the head. Okay, I guess it's just 'cause I'm looking down right now. There you go. Go get that subs. Thank you. I don't know what. Oh, nope. Don't click on that. Was trying to bring chat back up, but I almost clicked the wrong button. I've probably told this story like 10 times, but I feel like since I'm talking about my anniversary, that it's one I wanted to mention. One of my happiest times on YouTube was, coming across, like, Callie from, O-Live English and, like, her stuff. And like, it just gave me, like, so much, like, hope and, like, excitement that, like, I never felt before. And it's difficult to put it into words, but, like, I felt, like, really inspired and passionate in a way I hadn't felt in a long time. And I just remember one day waking up and being like, wouldn't it be cool to be a VTuber? Like, wouldn't it be cool to try it out? And for a while, I would push that thought away, just like, oh no, I can't do that. I'm way too awkward for that. Oh no, it's no way. But the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, you know, maybe I should give it a try. Maybe I'll find something new that I like and stuff. Cause like, I don't know what the current stereotype is. I feel like, how do I put this? I do have self-confidence issues. I have self-esteem issues. I have trouble looking at myself. So when it came to like early social media, I'm like, I can't be good at this at all. I can't even show my face. Like, how am I supposed to do this? And of course, there was a ton of YouTubers that don't do that have like a PNG, but I was like, well, I don't like my voice either, so how am I gonna do this? I debated becoming like a ghostwriter, just giving someone scripts and them doing it for me, and eventually I gathered up enough courage and I'm like, okay, this VTuber thing, maybe this is how I do it. And I designed the character and my mascot, and I really liked it. It took me a while. It took me a couple of years to find one I really liked, but I really liked it, and I liked, like, the, like, how do I put it? Like the creativity, like, VTubers do, like, they always have, like, a bajillion toggles, and, like, lore, and like design changes and stuff. Like, I think that's really cool. Callie does have that effect on sometimes. Yeah. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit, but I left a comment on like the new music video and she hearted it and I'm like, oh yes. Like, it's such a fangirl thing to say, but it feels nice to, like, be recognized by someone you care about. Cause, like, don't get me wrong, like, I get, like, YouTubers are busy people, like, but sometimes it really just is, like, that simple, like, a comment, an acknowledgement, a heart, and you're like, wow, this person cares, you know? Cause, like, a lot of early YouTube, like, it felt, like, very one-sided. Like, you would be watching their videos every week, and to them, all they would be like, oh, my watch time went up by, like, 0.1%. It's like... And, like, I kind of see why, like, conventions are such a popular thing, because it's a way for, like, people to meet face-to-face, or, like, concerts and stuff, like... Like, I've always had a dream of being like an artist alley artist, like being there face to face and just like chatting with people. And that's still a dream of mine. Like, I still want to do it one day, even if I'm not 100% even if I'm not 100% sure when yet. But what I'm trying to say is like I feel like people are like, oh yeah, I'm socially anxious, I'm awkward, and I'm like, no, like I'm really socially anxious, I'm like really awkward. So like VTubing has been a way for me to express myself in a way that I didn't feel comfortable to before, and I feel like that's why I've been like really excited about it, cause like I get to connect with people and make stuff that I like, and like grow as a person, like try to do more stuff and be a better person and things like that. Not that I was like a bad person or anything, but like I don't know, I feel like when you're like excluded from people, like eventually it turns into like bitterness and resentment. And I knew that was a place that I didn't want to be in forever. Like I wanted to move past that. Because sometimes it is tough when you're always the last kid picked, the one excluded from parties, like you always feel like you're on the outside looking in. And it was tough, it was lonely, it was hard, but I feel like in a sense, like I feel like creating has been a way for me to be social in a way that's comfortable for me. And hold on, I had the rest of the thought, let me, I gotta get it back. But yeah, like creating, and then there was like one other thing. This is usually the part I would edit out in a video where I'm like, where the frick did my thought go mid-sentence? Like, it's like, pew! But, yeah, nice little escape. But yeah, like that's kind of why I went with the ghost character, because like even if it's a little cliche, I'm like I feel like this fits my vibe the way. Let me take a sip. Damn, I'm not used to talking this much still. It's like I have to like get the key in there and turn it and like get the yapping engine revved up. Your thoughts went adios. It's like, thought, come back, and it's like, goodbye. There it goes. It's not a train of thought, it was a balloon, it just flied away. But, yeah, I feel like all of this is kind of what I wanted to say, like in a roundabout way. That, I feel like for like a long time I wanted to be a YouTuber. I just needed to find the way that works for me. It's like, I know people like joke, they're like, all these kids, they just want to be influencers and stuff like that, and like I think just being like on YouTube for so long, like I just knew that it was the way that I wanted to do things at my own pace. Like I've heard like so many people say, especially introverts, that like YouTube like really like helped change them for the better. That it helps them like be more social and like connect with people and stuff. But don't get me wrong, I enjoy like being like a comfy lurker and stuff, but like you don't really make friends by just lurking the whole time. And I'm not saying that about anyone in particular, I'm just saying for me personally, like, it's comfy, but I need to get out of my shell more. Okay. What else? Man, I really should write down more notes. I was trying to think of some before the stream, and it's just really hard to recall my thoughts sometimes. But yeah, I'll probably eventually do like a blog post or like an update post or something that's more easier to read. But yeah, I'm still working on new assets. I don't know, it's just like whenever there's a deadline, time just goes really fast. I gave myself a month to do all this stuff, and it was like 2 days before, and that feeling of dread kicked in. I'm like, oh no, there's no way in hell I'm gonna finish this in 2 days, so... that stuff is still coming, it's just gonna take a bit longer than I thought. And I don't enjoy having to say that, but it's true, I'm still figuring out the pacing and like how to get stuff done, but I don't want to rush it because I want to make sure I do a good job, so I'll take a bit longer, and when it looks like it's ready, it'll be ready. But to give a rough estimate, I'm thinking maybe 1 more month should be good enough. For streaming stuff, I'm hoping to do more during the summer. Things have been kind of falling apart around me. The world is burning right now, so it's a little tricky, but I want to keep doing this. I feel like eventually I'll find my stride. I just gotta figure out which way. Like, I was gonna play Sonic Rumble. That was supposed to come out May 8th. And then like 2 days before, they're like, actually, we're delaying the game indefinitely. And I'm like, oh, well, there goes that idea. So I just wanted to let you know I'm still thinking about that stuff. You say that while I'm currently lurking, lol. Anyways, congrats on the anniversary. Also, sorry for never responding to your reply. My mind has been all over the place. Let me take a sip of water and I will respond to that. You can tell I'm not used to talking. It's been like an hour and my throat is already hurting, so give me a sec. I gotta build those yap muscles. The talking rips. Rip Sonic Rumble. Yeah. Whenever it comes out, I do want to check it out because it's supposed to be free to play. But let me respond to that comment first. I'll probably talk for like 10 or 15 more minutes for today. So yeah, like when it comes to the lurking thing, I try not to call out lurkers because I've been a lurker and you don't want to be called out. So I don't do that, but I brought it up because I was a chronic lurker. Especially when I was like really depressed, like I didn't want to post not even like comments, like I was really out of it. And I brought it up because posting on YouTube has kind of been like breaking away from that, like getting out of my shell and like having to like post and respond and things like that. And hold on. I don't hate that. I'm just really shy and afraid of judgment. Because, there's just always this feeling that, like, you never know, like, a hater might pop up out of nowhere. I don't remember if I told this story on stream, but I have a personal website on like NeoCities. I was editing it for like a year. One day I get a pretty scary email out of the blue. And this guy is like, he's like, I read your post about creating and I fucking hate you. And what is this? What is that? I hate you. I hate you so much. And I'm just like, bro, we've literally never talked before. Why do you hate me? Why did you email me this? But, yeah, so nothing ever happened after that, but like, I didn't even know what to say to that. I'm just like, I'm sorry. But, thankfully, that's been the only thing so far, really. But that was just, like, really random. It's just like, I've just been, like, blogging, like, I'm sorry I offended you, like. But, yeah, like, I get the whole social anxiety thing, so, like, I appreciate when people comment and stuff, but, like, I'm not gonna force anyone. Like, I feel like that's why I was afraid for so long. I'm like, when like, YouTubers, like, comment and subscribe, I'm like, comment if you want, like if you liked the video, subscribe if you want, but I don't want to annoy you, so maybe don't subscribe. People take things way too personally sometimes. Like, I could understand if I had talked to this guy before, but like, he literally, like, wrote an essay in an email, and I'm like, I've literally never talked to you. It's just really weird. Like someone's just like seething and raging, and it's like, bro, I don't even know you. I'm like, is this what celebrities feel like? I'm like, but I'm not a celebrity. I'm just a random person, like, sharing my thoughts. But yeah, like, that. Thankfully, most people have been way more supportive, because I've heard the horror stories and stuff, and like, I am glad that I started this, and like, everyone's been like really encouraging and supportive, and I was really surprised by that, because I'm so used the internet's like hypercritical and like angry and raging and all that, and I'm like, it can be a lot sometimes. And it's like, for me personally, it's like, I already am critical enough with myself. I don't need anyone to add fuel to the fire. It's like, I do kind of agree with Callie. It's like, #1 anti myself. I probably shouldn't joke about that, but it is kind of true. But, I do feel like I've gotten past most of the self-hatred. I have some flare-ups, but I'm doing a lot better. And I think part of that is because everyone being so supportive and encouraging and stuff, like, it really does make a difference. Like, I hope it doesn't sound cheesy, but like I feel like that's always what I've wanted, to just like yap about fandom shit, make some cool stuff, and like just have a comfy time with everyone. Like, I've always wanted that. But anyways, I'm gonna take a break for today, but thanks so much for joining in today. I had a good time. I yapped a bit more than I thought I was going to at first, and thanks so much for supporting me the past year, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye. I swear I'll get better at